Welcome to Rick's Corner. I have Chuck Norman back with me again, the big guy in the gym, probably the biggest guy in the gym, who is a trainer. He's been a weightlifter for years, boxer, he's an actor, stuntman. He knows a lot about training, and I want to bring him on and talk about a couple of things because we're all friends with Rich and some of the guys in the gym, and we talk about going heavy, we talk about joint pain, we talk about going light, we talk about doing reps. There's a lot of difference going on there, a lot of different controversy. Back in the days, I think we all started, I think, as powerlifters mostly, right?
Yeah, lifting heavy.
Yeah, I mean, that was when you start training in the gym, the first thing you want to do is see how much you can bench
press,
how much you can squat if you want to do legs, and how much you deadlift, because everybody wants to know what your bench is. Now today there's a slogan out, I'm not a powerlifter, I'm a bodybuilder, so I don't bench heavy. But you had mentioned to me the other day you had a sore elbow.
Very so, yeah, bone spurs in both of my elbows from lifting heavy.
Is it from lifting heavy?
Yeah.
Calcium deposits?
Yeah.
You know, we can do surgery here.
So, really?
Yeah, I have one of the bears help me out. Do you still lift heavy? Do you think you need to go heavy to get size?
Yes and no, depending on your foundation, depending on where you're at. When I was younger, I did a lot of heavy weights just to get that size.
The density.
Yes.
Okay.
And as I've gotten older, due to injuries and due to my, like I said, bone spurs in my elbows, I can't go heavy.
Right. So what do you do?
I do a lot of high reps. I do moderate to medium weight, anywhere between 15 and 20 reps, 4 sets, and I do a lot of supersets. Yeah, and that really stimulates the muscle, so I don't have to do heavy.
I think well, we all, like I said, we all went heavy. I gained a lot of size from going heavy back in the days. I mean, my bench was 450. I don't know that my chest was really that much bigger. Maybe it was a little thicker, but bodybuilding shaping changed the shape of it. Going heavy on arms. I mean, I remember doing the 60s and 65-pound dumbbells. Now I do the 20 and 25s. And I think, where did that strength go? Although I still get a good feel out of it.
There's a lot of different machines now that there were 20 years ago.
Oh, also, totally.
That you can rely on a lot of machine work. And as I've gotten older, I've relied a lot on machines because of due to injury with free weights. I do a lot more machines now.
Well, the thing is what you're really looking for is muscle resistance. To build muscle, you want resistance applying the muscle to make the muscle break down and then let it repair itself and grow. So whether it's a machine or a weight doesn't really matter as long as you have resistance.
Exactly.
Now, a lot of bodybuilders will spend maybe, I don't know how many weeks out before a show posing every day for like a half hour, which really brings a very good pump. It brings out the muscularity. Yeah. So I'm going to take this a step further. I was sitting in the gym the other day while you were there. Albert Beckel sat down next to me, and he got one of those rubber handles with the stretch, right? I have one in my house. And he's sitting there and he's doing curls, like 30, 40 reps. Now, Albert's 82 years old. He had one of the best biceps in the world.
82 years young.
82 years young. And I said, what are you doing? He says, oh man, he says, this is different than a dumbbell. You've got resistance going both ways. And even if I'm flexing my arm, I can feel it. He says, this really brings out the bicep. And I'm thinking about that. You know, he's right. He's right, because you have complete control over that rubber elastic, and so you can pull and stretch and resist and re-stretch without having to worry about a dumbbell dropping and falling. So I'm going to start trying that. I think it's good. And then Rich had said something about, for 2 years, every night he would do 3 sets of bicep and 3 sets of tricep, 100 reps per set. Lightweight.
That's brutal.
It is brutal. But he said that the point was that it pushes blood into the muscle and pumps it up without tearing it down. However, I kind of debate that a bit, because anytime you work a muscle, you're tearing it down. And I don't think you can. He did it every day. I don't know how. He's different. He's just a different breed of animal. I don't know how you do that every day without not having any recovery time for that.
Yeah, well, Richard's arms are this big.
They are, but is it from that? Or, I mean, all those reps, I'm told that really works. Now, Frank Zane was never a heavy lifter. He would get ready before a show, 6 weeks, and he would just be perfectly formed. And then after that, he wasn't perfectly formed. He didn't train that the same way. He was a pump artist, they'd call him, and a chemist, of course. So, it's just, I just wanted your theory on that, because I know that you told me you're doing more reps now. You think 15 and 20 is good?
Well, like I said, I agree more with supersets, because I do a routine with my clients sometimes and myself with doing probably 15, 20-pound dumbbells, very light, and doing 15 shoulder presses, 15 side laterals, 15 bent over laterals, all together, all simultaneously.
Right.
And by the time you're on your 3rd set, your shoulders are blown out.
Yeah.
And you're doing light weight, and it seems like it's not a lot of weight, which is not. But doing those supersets over and over and over, by the time you're on your second or third set, you're exhausted.
Yeah.
And your shoulders are blown out.
I get that.
So compared to doing like just heavy shoulder presses or heavy side laterals. So again, like I said, supersetting and high reps, I think can do just as good as doing heavyweight. To me, especially depending on your depending on your foundation.
On your foundation, yeah. But the other thing too, if you do all your shaping movements, we call them shaping movements, like laterals, because they're shaping the muscle. They're working the muscle, but they're shaping it. You do all those first, and then you do your pressing last. You can't go as heavy because you pre-exhausted the muscle.
Exactly.
So what is heavy for you at that time is actually lighter weight, but it's heavier because you're already tired.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, back in the days when we were down at Gold's in Venice, we would do Arnold and I we'd do the standing dumbbell presses all the way up the rack from 25s all the way up to 70s or 80s, non-stop all the way, and it was grueling, and then all the way back down. That was part of the delt workout. The other part was doing laterals all the way up and all the way down. So they're basically supersets within themselves.
Of course.
And at the time you finish that, your delts were just like, you could stand under the light and see that your delts are just round and pumped.
But you're pyramiding up though, right, in your reps.
Yeah. You're pyramiding up until you can't do hardly any reps.
Right.
Now. You know, you go back down, you pump them out with a lot of reps. Okay.
Or drop sets. You can also like doing drop sets with. Actually, I just did it with Rich Piano on Sunday. He was doing incline presses on the Smith machine.
Okay.
And we were dropping the plates each set.
Oh, those work good.
And by the time he was done, his chest was blown out to here. It was a great workout.
You definitely need a spot or a partner to do that.
Well, we had two people on each side, one person on each side of the Smith machine.
Okay.
And we were just playing. So he didn't have a lot of rest.
Okay.
After the plates were taken off.
Okay. And the other thing with supersetting, because I like that too, depends on how crowded the gym is.
Yeah.
Because there's times you just can't get anything.
You can't get anything.
You can't get anything. You need everybody to clear the gym, go home, and stay there by yourself.
Would
right?
that be nice?
Yeah, it would be nice. All right, so I wanted to clear that up. And then now you're eating, for you're a big man, you're 300 pounds, and you eat how many times a day? And you're still eating the cheeseburgers?
What? No.
The donuts?
Yeah, I eat about 5, 6, 7 times a day.
Large amounts? Is your appetite like it used to be?
No. Small meals. I can, depending if I miss a meal, then I get really, really hungry. Or if I know each time if I feel that it's feeding time, and if I don't eat, I get kind of like crazy. Like I almost like my blood sugar drops. I know when I'm very hungry. So that means I missed a meal or something like that. And but no, I try to stay periodically consistent. Now that I'm changing my diet up for the year and getting more clean, I find myself more hungrier now because now I'm eating clean food compared to like bad food.
Yeah, you're not satisfying that hunger issue.
Right.
And it's hard because then every time you eat clean again. But after about a couple of weeks of that, you start to see the body shape up.
Of course.
And then all of a sudden it clicks in and you feel good about it.
Start to see your waistline go down.
Exactly.
Also.
And then you take one junk day and it goes back out.
Exactly. Yeah. The body responds negative to it.
Okay, I wanted to clear that up because that was an important issue and people ask about it all the time. Now, the next issue I want to talk about, this is something else that comes up a lot. A lot of you guys write in and you're always asking me about buying steroids online and where do you get them and how do you get them. Well, number one, it's not my job to tell you how to get them because I'm not going to be liable for anybody who has any problems with that kind of stuff. So I'm not going to tell you to do it, and I'm not going to tell you not to do it, and I'm not going to tell you where to get them because that's not my business.
No.
However, online, I just got something on Facebook today. I don't know if you saw it, but you're not on Facebook.
No.
Okay. Someone listed everything you could possibly ever want. Some company listed on Facebook that it's there. I mean, they've got test, DECA, this, things I've never even heard about. All different types of growth hormones, and you just click on the company link and you can order direct.
Wow.
It had everything. Thing that bothers me, there's two things. Number one, is it real?
Probably not.
Probably not. Number two, is it a setup from maybe the FBI?
Probably so.
Probably to catch people. And so if you order, you can expect maybe them at your door to arrest you. So when you asked me about ordering that, I wouldn't do it. I just wouldn't do it.
I just think last time I checked, it's illegal.
Yeah.
And it's still under like a level 1 drug or something like that.
It's pretty high.
Yeah, it comes under the same thing as methamphetamines, to be honest. If you ever get caught with it.
Yeah.
I just think it's a catch-22. I mean, you don't know what you're getting if that's the route you're trying to go.
Right.
Just to be safe. A lot of these times right now, there's wellness clinics with doctors that you can prescribe things for.
Right.
And can be monitored. Your blood can be monitored. Your heart can be monitored. And the doctors prescribe it for you and do the injections at the office.
That's right.
If that's the route you want to go.
But here's the thing: if they do that, first of all, you got to be a certain age, because your body's over 40 because your testosterone drops.
Right.
And they will test you and provide you with it if you pass the test that you need it. If you don't need it, they're not going to give it to you. It's just not going to happen.
No.
And also, it's not the end all. It's not what's going to make you the champion. It's the little icing on the cake if you're at the final thing where you're a pro and you need that. Otherwise, it's diet and exercise. And I know you guys are hard to believe that. We see guys come in the gym all the time, young guys, 20s and 30s, and they don't do their homework and they don't follow a diet, and they're trying to lift heavy. They're doing shrugs with 500 pounds and barely moving it, and they're fat and they're out of shape with pimples, and because they're not eating right.
I've seen guys on cycles supposedly, and I couldn't even tell that they even worked out.
No.
So they were like, "Oh, I'm taking this."
They'll tell you, "I'm taking all this stuff," and you look at them and say, "Well, it's not working for you." Number one, either it's not real, or you're not eating properly with it, because everything is based on it's based on a lot of things. So on your training, your rest, and your diet. And if you don't do those things correctly, anything you take beyond that, it's not going to work with it.
I did an interview in December for Playboy Radio, and one of the topics we did was on bodybuilding. And one of the topics the host was asking me was about steroids and what have you. Is it prevalent in bodybuilding and what have you? And I was explaining to her about the difference of shows, natural shows and regular shows, NPC shows and what have you, and what people rely on and what you don't. You need a foundation. I think we talked about before in a previous show. It's about the foundation and people not relying on certain supplements to get them over the top or get them to a certain look.
Right.
I just think, like I said, there's a route to go to that's a more of a natural and healthier way,
right,
compared to relying on certain drugs to get you to the top. That's what.
I think so too. I think so too. It's, you're going to do it, you're going to do it, but do it the right way. Go see a doctor, get checked out. You don't want to come around, 20, 30 years from now with some sort of big tumor that's growing inside of you that's full of cancer, because it can happen.
Or an enlarged heart.
Or enlarged
heart.
People are having problems. Somebody we know right now has that. He had to quit working out, can't have sex, can't do anything anymore, and they said, go see your mortician.
Basically,
Basically, they said that. So you've got to really watch what you're doing nowadays. Try to be healthy. It's tough. It's tough to go the other route. That pretty much touched on what I wanted to do. I'd like you to grab that right there so we can show the people out there. This is I have an assortment of bears sent to me by BigPlush.com. I know you're going to laugh. Yeah, but you know what? Chicks like this stuff. And if you want to be a hero and you want to buy your girl a Valentine's gift, go to BigPlush.com. They have 6-foot, 7-foot animals. They have the gorillas, like the World Gym gorilla. They have monkeys. They have bears. All this stuff. And they'll give you, if you use my name, they'll give you a 6-foot rose like we have over there.
Wow.
And buy something for your girlfriend or your wife for Valentine's Day. Something different. Something she can cuddle with, because you're probably getting so big she can't cuddle with you anymore because you might lose your pump.
And he has a heart.
Yeah, he has a heart, right? He's got a heart on. Is what he got. So it's BigPlush.com. And I want to thank Chuck for coming down here. I knew that somebody would come between us and this and
always somebody.
And stay tuned for more Rick's Corners, because we're going to talk more about the stuff that you like to hear about. The #1 video on the internet, Rick's Corner, all about training and bodybuilding, nutrition, diet, sexual enhancement, or no sex. Thanks for watching.
It's RickDrasin.com. He is the equalizer, baby. See you next time.